Welcome to the online practical sessions. In this session, we will be trying to understand the reverse bias characteristics of a semiconductor diode. In the previous session, we had seen the forward bias characteristics of the semiconductor diode. Today, we will be looking into reverse bias. The aim of the experiment is to draw the current versus voltage characteristic curve of a PN junction diode in reverse bias and hence to determine reverse saturation current. Today, finally, we will be determining reverse saturation current. We will understand what this is. The principle says when the diode is reverse biased, it offers very high resistance. As the applied voltage increases in reverse bias, the current increases and soon becomes constant, and it is called reverse saturation current. In NCERT, you will find this diagram. I have a diode which has P type on one side and N type on another side, and we have a junction. On either side of the junction, we have the space charge region, or we have immobile charges. If at all you connect P to negative of the battery and N to positive of a battery and switch on, what happens is the potential across the junction increases. This space charge region further increases, it widens, and the resistance of the junction increases than the earlier case. Even in this case yet, there will be flow of current which is due to minority charge carriers. We will be having small amount of electrons on P side and holes on N side as minority charge carriers. This potential on either side of the junction pulls the electron onto N side and the hole onto the P side. Even on small application of voltage, this minority charge carriers cross the junction, and this is a very small current. That is what is called as reverse saturation current. Further, these current due to minority charge carriers is independent of the voltage applied. Let us conduct the experiment. Here is the circuit diagram to perform today's experiment. We have a battery. If you observe, the N type of the diode is connected to the positive of the battery, and the P type of the diode is connected towards the negative of the battery. This makes the diode in reverse bias. And further, in the forward bias condition, we had a similar circuit where we had used a milliamp meter. The current there we were getting in milliamperes. In reverse bias, the current that we get is very small, so we are using a microammeter. And further, practically a diode is a small black color bead with a white band. We will remember again, the white band side is the N type and the other side is the P type. And for performing today's experiment, we have the tabular column here. We will be increasing the voltage from 1 to 2, 3, 4 in terms of 1 voltage. So let us start connecting the circuit. In the circuit today, the battery is connected to one end of the rheostat, and the same battery positive also goes to positive of ammeter. Let us do the connection. I will be connecting from battery positive to one end of the rheostat, also from the same positive terminal of the battery to positive of ammeter. Next, now from negative of ammeter to N type of the diode, also the same negative of ammeter goes to positive of the voltmeter. If you observe the diode here, we have a white band on one side. So the white band side is the N type and the other terminal is now connected to the P type. Today, from negative of the ammeter, we will be connecting to the N type of the diode. From negative of the ammeter to N type of the diode, also from the same terminal to positive of the voltmeter. I can connect also from here. Let me connect it from here. Next, Now from negative of voltmeter to p type of the diode and also to the variable contact of the rheostat. So let us make the connection. From the negative end of the voltmeter to p type of the diode, also from the same negative end of the voltmeter to the variable contact of the rheostat, which is the upper contact. After this, finally, from the third terminal of the rheostat to one end of the key and from another end of the key to battery negative. So let us complete the circuit. From the third terminal of the rheostat to one end of the plug key and from another end of the plug key, I will be connecting this to battery negative. Now this completes the circuit. Let us look into this once more. From battery positive to rheostat, also from the same battery positive to ammeter positive, then from ammeter negative to N type of the diode, also from the same terminal to positive of the voltmeter, from negative of the voltmeter to P type of the diode, also from the same terminal to the variable contact of the rheostat, and from the third terminal of the rheostat to one end of the plug key and the other end of the plug key is going to be connected to negative of the battery. So this completes the circuit. Let us start performing the experiment. Before we plug in and start the experiment, we will set the voltage in the power supply. I have set the voltage to around 10 volts. Now let me plug in and let me begin to maintain a potential difference of 1 volt across the diode. So the voltage across the diode, I will set it to 1 volt now. So this is the voltmeter here. So the voltage here is 1.02, I can take it as 1 volt. And look at the current, it is showing 0.8 microamperes. Let me note down this. Next, I will increase the voltage across the diode to 2 volts. The voltage across the diode is now 2 volts and the current through the diode is 1.8 microamperes. Let me further increase the voltage across the diode to 3 volts. The voltage across the diode is now 3 volts and the current is 2.8 microamperes. I will increase the voltage to 4 volts. The voltage is 4 volts and the current is 3.7 microamperes. Let me note down this. I will increase the voltage now to 5 volts. The voltage across the diode is now 5 volts and the current is 4.7 microamperes. Let me increase the voltage to 6 volts. The voltage across the diode is now 6 volts and the current is 5.5 microamperes. I will further increase the voltage to 7 volts. The voltage across the diode is now 7 volts and the current is 6.5 microamperes. Further increase the voltage to 8 volts. Now the current is 7.4 microamperes. As per to theory, the current is going to be a constant. Due to experimental errors, we may be having a small increase in the current, but the current is in microamperes and the increase in current is very small and we may consider almost a constant. You will see this when we plot a graph of current versus voltage. So let us now plot the graph to understand the reverse characteristics of the diode. Here we have the graph for the diode in reverse bias. This helps us to understand the functioning of the diode in reverse bias. As we increase the voltage from 1 volt to 2, 3, 4 all the way till 8 volts, the current also increased, but the increase is very small. The current that we have taken here is in microamperes. So you see here, the change in current is very small and that too it is in microamperes. So in reverse bias, a diode offers a very high resistance. It acts almost as an insulator. The graph here, which is given in your NCERT, helps us to understand more better. The diode attains a constant value, and if you look at the graph here, the reverse voltage is increased from 0 all the way till 80 volts, and there is a breakdown of the diode after crossing a certain limit. The voltage at which the diode breaks down and current increases suddenly is called as breakdown voltage. Within our laboratory limitations, we will not be going to perform the reverse bias of the diode till 80 volts. We have only performed till 8 volts, and within the readings that we have noted down, we are going to take the reverse saturation current as 7 microamperes. The graph in the NCERT helps us to understand the forward bias and the reverse bias a lot more better. It's better to go through the theory part and the graphical explanation being given in your NCERT textbook. The same graph is being shown here. Here is the graph drawn for today's experiment. We have taken voltage along the x-axis and current along the y-axis. On the x-axis, every centimeter is representing 1 volt, so we have noted down the scale, and on the y-axis, every centimeter is representing 10 microamperes. If you draw a graph, the current increases through a very small step. It is not even reaching 10 microamperes even after crossing a voltage of 8 volts. So this says that the diode offers a very high resistance in reverse bias. And within our experimental limits, we have noted down the reverse saturation current here, and it is 7 microamperes. Let us note down the result now. We will be ending the experiment by noting down the result. Our aim was to find the reverse saturation current. Therefore, we will note down the result as the reverse saturation current for the given diode is 7 microamperes. That's all for this session.